Copper. It's a new company. This is actually the first conference we've attended. The first time we presented this company. We acquired 2 copper assets so far. The plan is to acquire large copper resources in the Americas without fatal flaws that have been previously drilled, so at the resource stage, but not yet developed for some reason other than a fatal flaw. Maybe who the shareholders were, if it was in a large company on the shelf, or drilled historically when the grade wouldn't have cut it. So Leo Hathaway and I put this company together. And Leo was the VP Exploration for all of Ross Beaty's Lumina Copper companies. So in the last cycle, they sold 4 or 5 of these porphyries, and we're going to replicate exactly that. So Leo is one of the most successful copper geologists there is. The McCullough Project was discovered in the 70s, and it was drilled by Anglo and B2 in Colombia. But these were both gold companies, and this is a copper moly project. So it just sat for the last 10 years in B2's inventory. Where we are is in the Jurassic Belt, so just on the Colombia side of the border from where Mirador is. So this was Corrientes' project, which the Chinese railway bought. And a much easier jurisdiction, Colombia, than Ecuador. So we don't have any indigenous problems or permitting problems or social issues. I've been working in Colombia for 10 years with other projects. We built a mine with Red Eagle Mining there. So it's a place we really understand how to work. And McCullough is 636 million tons of 0.45 copper equivalent. And this is open in all directions. So this is just an initial resource. If we drilled some of these drill holes today, which we will, they're really notable. So, for example, 0.5%, 0.5% copper over 600 meters from surface and open at depth. There's an example of what the pit shell looks like there, but it could be much larger and deeper than that. So far, it's the mineralization is actually 1.4 kilometers by 1.2 kilometers, and the ore body in this pit is actually 600 meters diameter and only down to 300 meters depth. But the deepest drill hole is 1 kilometer with the same mineralization. Our second project is Michi in Colorado. So this one was discovered in the 50s at a similar type of deposit, copper moly. And very large. So far, it's 700 million tons of 0.33% copper equivalent, and in a mining district in Colorado where there are other operating mines. And there's no one lives near the property. There's no social issues there. And drilled a long time ago. So when this property was drilled, it was obviously out of the money. But nowadays in North America, there's many properties that are actual mines with this kind of grade. So here, I love this slide because it's a brand new company. This is the first time we've marketed the company. We have 11 billion pounds of copper. If you look at that compared to other development projects, they typically are around 2 or 3 cents per pound, where we're only 0.5 cent per pound because we only have a 5 million market cap because we haven't marketed the company yet. So I think there's 2 opportunities here. One is to get in early before we market it, this is the first conference we've been to. And then obviously as we develop, as we de-risk McCullough, there'll be another jump. And we're not done. We've acquired 2 properties, but the plan is to acquire up to 6 properties. So we're still actively negotiating on other acquisitions. So we're ready for the next bullish copper cycle, which is coming very quickly. Here's some examples of precedent copper transactions in South America. As you can see, they're often around 3 cents is what they sell for, and this is the same projects. The ones with stars beside them are ones that our management team has been involved in de-risking and selling in the past. So 4 of the last 12 transactions in South America was done by our team. And the grade, as you see there, the grade is around, of all the projects sold in the last cycle, it's around just over 0.4%, which is very similar to our McCullough property at 0.45. And our McCullough property is also one of the larger ones on here already, even though it's open. As it's a new company, we just have 55 million shares outstanding. Leo and I own 40% of the company. B2 Gold owns 20%. That's where we acquired the McCullough Project from. And obviously, we all know copper after listening to that to the speak before us. So we are going into a cycle where the fundamentals of copper are extraordinary. It's everyone talks about the electric vehicles and battery metals. Well, they use more copper than any other metal. And that's it. Do we have time for you? We have time for questions, I think, if anyone has any.